Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning on September the 27th, a rather bright and autumnal Sunday morning. This is a session I'm recording specifically for the ICG membership, who have sent some questions in regarding the TSAPI initiative. I've consulted with the SAPI steering group to get you the most up-to-date information, but it is an evolving initiative, so decisions may change over time. But as of Sunday the 27th of September, this is the most up-to-date information. I've put times next to the questions, so if you want to go direct to a specific point, you can, rather than watching the whole thing, but feel free to watch the whole thing, please do. And please excuse me, I will be referring to notes throughout because I really need to get this right. Apart from that, let's kick it off. Yeah, it's a fair question. Some people have just asked, can you explain this concept a little clearer, please? So what is an API? An API is a way of transferring data directly from one platform to another without having to export a file and then import that file into the platform that you're using. It's a direct connection, so your data just flows between the two. People have asked, why do we need the API initiative within our sector? Well, if we imagine our sector, the current situation, but instead of thinking and referring to survey data, we think about it in terms of emails, then things become a little clearer. So as things stand, we are having to write an email in a software package. Then we save it. We export it as a file. We then upload that email file to an online area, and we somehow let our friend know that the file is available for them to download. They then log in, download the email file, save it to whatever location that they keep all of your emails in. They open their software package, they import that email file into their system, hoping that all the letters don't go strange and it imports correctly. They read your email. Then, if they want to reply to it, the whole process has to start again. To export, save, upload, and round and round and round and round we go. I mean, that situation in the email world is unthinkable, but it's the situation that we are in with survey data. It is borderline embarrassing. So the reason the emails system doesn't work like that is because people got together ages ago and agreed a set of standards and a protocol and moved on and innovated, as we can see. So that's what our sector needs, and that's what the SAPI initiative is trying to achieve. Yeah, at the moment APIs do exist in different platforms, but they don't talk the same language. It's very rarely that one API will connect to another platform instantly. Why is that a problem? Well, using the email example again, it's like having to write a new add-on to decode the text sent from one email client, like Outlook, to another email client, like Gmail. You know, in Outlook, if you wanted to receive an email that was sent via Gmail or Apple Mail or Thunderbird, you'd have to write another add-on every time that converts that text so you can read it, and same in every single email client. So you can have loads and loads of add-ons in order to connect to all of these different email clients, and it stifles innovation, and it's just cumbersome. We need a single API definition that everyone can use. We all agree on it, we come together, it gets signed off, it's hosted online, we can all refer to it, and then it's done. And we can get on with the more important issues of making our products and our services and our insights as best as they can be, and innovation flourishes throughout the industry. In a word, no. SSS is a file-based standard of transferring survey data, export, import into another platform, whereas TSAPI is trying to define that API direct connection standard. But that said, SSS is a wonderful example of people coming together and working together, like Steve Jenkins, Pat Malloy, everybody else who developed the standards, everybody else who supported it over the years and still do. A wonderfully inspiring project that the feeling of which we hope to emulate across the whole industry. SSS standards and definitions do form the core part of TSAPI. Why reinvent the wheel? But the API definition allows us to overcome a lot of the traditional challenges that SSS faces for file-based transfer, and also expand on what's possible, like two platforms talking to each other live, right? That's an API for you. And I must state that to say that TSAPI was in any way as successful as SSS would be a huge overstatement on our part. We hope to be, and we hope to continue to get advice and experience from the SSS team. Not at all, it's for everyone. If you use a market researching platform that is in any way related to survey data, then TSAPI is relevant to you. Moreover, some of us who are perhaps a few steps back in the supply chain, we may not appreciate how hard it can be to sell the very concept of market research to clients, to get their buy-in. Whether it's Qual or Quant, we're all selling our industry. We're all selling our brand of market research, and survey data plays a significant role within our industry and the perception of our industry. So everyone needs us to be innovating and adding and positively contributing to the perceived health of the market research brand. No. Maybe. And yes. No, in those circumstances, you don't need to transfer survey data from one platform to another via an API. But maybe your supplier does. Maybe they need to transfer survey data from a data collection platform to a tabulations platform. And don't forget, it's the end user that's going to be paying for any manual work and hours that's required to do that, to export, check, and import. And we also should take a step back and think what's good for our industry is indirectly going to be good for us, not just in the current situation where it might save us a bit of money, but also in the future. What about, okay, you get your data tables, but what if the TSAPI inspired innovation so that your data tables were updating live and you could access them, they were connecting directly to PowerPoint or whatever charting you were using because of that data flow, right from any collection platform, any analysis, any visualization platform. So you can hit the ground running, that your direct costs are lower, therefore you can be more competitive in an ever-increasing competitive market. It's not just market research, but the increasing competition from data science and all of the other things that we have to compete against today. So what's good for the industry? It's good for us. Important question, thank you for it, and I need to read a statement, so if you excuse me. Although the Association for Survey Computing are keen supporters of the TSAPI initiative, TSAPI operates independently from the ASC. Yeah, the SAPI initiative has a steering group made up of myself as the chair, Rebecca Cole from Cobalt Sky as the treasurer, Tim Bramwood is our lead programmer from Digital Taxonomy, Jerome Sapochko from Askia is our software coordinator. And if you go to our website, download the About Us PDF, you can see the definition of the TSAPI initiative, our overall objectives, our guiding principles, the purposes of the steering group and the executive role definitions. That group might expand or potentially have temporary sub-teams, depending on what we need at the time, and also our holding constitution. And we say holding because at some point we're going to have to incorporate, as a charitable organisation, a CIO, probably on a foundation model, but that's not necessary at this stage. Our lead programmer, Tim Bramwood, is leading the programming in consultation with the steering group, our wider network of specialists, and working with feedback from our initial consultation period. I should make a point about the consultation period that we went out to the sector, we asked everybody their opinions and ideas, and we got some really interesting feedback from independent consultants, from tech suppliers, and from the largest agencies in the world, and also from client side. And I should make the point that if the TSAPI initiative is going to be successful, it needs to be an international endeavour. So please do get in touch and keep that enthusiasm going. Well, at the moment, we don't need a great deal of funding. Base Price is hosting the website, Digital Taxonomy are hosting the Swagger area, and all the time is being volunteered. But there will come a point after we release version 1 where we'll need to create an online validator so people can test their implementations automatically. We'll set up a project for that and cost it out, and to see how much it's going to cost to set up and sustain. And at that point, we'll go out to the industry and ask for contributions. Rebecca Cole will be leading on that. And at that point, we'll need to change to a CIO, probably on the foundation model, so we can get a bank account and everything can be transparent. Oh, this talk of money's making me hungry. Have a chocolate. Not even 12 o'clock on Sunday morning yet. Yum. Yeah, one of the guiding principles of the SSS initiative is that it will be free for everybody to use now and forever. We haven't decided on a specific license once version 1 is released, but we think that the Creative Commons License Attribution 4.0 International will probably be the one. That's what SSS uses. Currently just hosting the proof of concept. There was a little confusion about that. It will be updated to host TSAPI's version 1 release, and we'll let everybody know when that happens. Well, firstly, there's been an amazing response from tech supply in our sector. Lots of enthusiasm from all around the world. Now, we can't share which particular companies are thinking about doing it or who have been conversing with us, but once version 1 is released and people start implementing it, you'll see who's really keen. Secondly, these guys are entrepreneurs. They can see things sort of years ahead, and if anything's going to enable them to innovate in an increasingly competitive world, sector versus sector, then TSAPI is going to do that. They're probably going to embrace that, right? Also, tech supply in our sector have got form for coming together and collaborating on an industry level standard of survey data transfer. Mentioned Triple S a lot. And finally, it's your data. You shouldn't have to go to the shop to buy a bottle of water every time you want to drink. Just turn the tap on, it's there. That's what TSAPI is all about. So it's your data, you're in control, but also I think tech supply are really keen on innovation as well. That's what they do. Well, we got there. It's now 12:15 on Sunday afternoon, and there is a beer festival happening, a socially responsible beer festival happening in my local pub that I'd love to enjoy. So I'm going to read through the different components that we're thinking of releasing in version 1, which will then be open for critique and hopefully collaboration. So, item 1, filtering. We don't want all our survey data back at the same time. This is an API. You could be getting hundreds of thousands of data rows, so we need to be able to filter. And returns could be based on metadata, such as date or time, standard survey variables like age or region, and calculated survey variables within that source platform, such as survey wave 1, whatever that may be. There will be different format options, 3 in total. There will be a default, the current flattened interview records as per Triple S's file format, a hierarchical option to allow for nested responses of levels and loops, and a response list, which is a BI-friendly version. This will be available. So 1 response per row layout, which you could then import into something like Tableau, which likes data not to be short and fat, but long, thin. The next option is to be able to, excuse me, I am reading this, to be able to update metadata. So an option to allow users of the API to update metadata within the source platform. For example, external systems and users will be able to add questions, as an example, or indeed new codes to variable frames within the source platform. So you might need to add segmentation tags. If you've been doing some work and you need some segmentation tags, or you have some coded data and you need a bigger frame, you'll be able to write that frame into the source platform if the source platform gives you permission. Similarly, there will be a write back function. So users can write survey data via the API back to the source platform. So that's either whole interview records of the actual data or additional responses to existing interviews, any kind of data. And again, this relates to this function, which is authentication. Tokens and IDs will define user access to projects. It will define user access to data sets and advanced options, because we might not wish everyone to be able to write back metadata or user level data or anything else on every single project. We've got to limit that and what people see, standard practice. Enhanced metadata is another function. So TSAPI is going to offer enhanced metadata to expand what is usually available in the file-based transfer, like tagging on grids, tagging on loops. There's a discussion on whether we should do other things like some kind of version management, whether we should tag whether something's been changed. That's a bit of a Pandora's box, so that one's still for discussion. And also there is an ongoing discussion about whether somebody or a platform needs to implement the whole of TSAPI, or whether they can pick a mix, or whether there's a core and then some extras around the outside. And that leads us into discussing what next. Right? Beyond version 1. Well, we'll release version 1, and that's going to come back and for critique, and we'll refine it and hopefully get to a position relatively quickly where some platforms who have already said they're on board will implement a solution. But talking about that implementation, we are going to have to develop an online validator. We discussed it earlier, and this is a collaborative piece, right? So if you've got some ideas on how to develop an online validator so people can log log in or test their implementations automatically without having to have some manual assistance, please get in touch. That'll be great, because we need to set that up as a project and secure funding for that setup, but also ongoing. And yeah, apart from the administrative stuff and getting the word out there, that's really the next project. Thank you very much to the ICG for the opportunity. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you to ICG members who are already putting requests into their software platforms that they honour TSAPI. That's just brilliant. As I say, this is an international pan-industry endeavour, and we're going to need some help, not just from tech developers, but social media marketing, anybody who can get the word out there. If you want to get involved, please do get involved. Share your ideas. We're going to have to get the concept out there and get people adopting it. Apart from that, I hope this has been helpful. Any other questions, please send them my way. Otherwise, I'm off to enjoy some lunch, a bit of music, and some local real ales at the Tobacco Factory in Bristol, which is an excellent venue if you ever get the opportunity. All the best, and speak to you again soon.